squawking bird in the is not happy that I'm back here because she has a nest of baby birds. I don't know what baby birds are called, so I'm not going to get into that. But I wanted to hop on here this morning. I'm going to be doing lives every Friday morning at 8 a.m. That's my goal, my target. If anything, I'll do it earlier, Eastern Standard Time. And I have some really crazy things that are happening. I've been streaming for the last, I think, 2 months now on Twitch, and then also creating videos on YouTube. And now the next thing that's happening is we are hitting the road. Now, the timing of when we hit the road is questionable. However, I may have more information next Friday on my next live. Actually, from one week to the next, things are changing so quickly. It's like kind of blowing my mind. It's crazy. But right now, we are going to be leaving to go to an interview at a campground, and we get to possibly do a work trade where we would work and get paid to work there, and then also our lodging would be included in that, and we get to be in nature and hang out with a community of people, and the contracts are only 4 to 6 months long, so it's like all kind of falling into place really quickly. And I really wanted to kind of like share this journey with everybody because I've never really shared the way things kind of unfold for me when I'm listening to that gut instinct. For me, it's more of like my spleen. If you follow human design at all, I am a splenic projector. So my inner authority, or where the energy of my knowing comes from, is in my deep instinctual splenic center. So anyway, we're going to be hitting the road, hopefully, possibly even as soon as next week, which was not even in the cards. It wasn't even something that we were considering. It just sort of fell in our laps. One thing after the other has been falling in our laps to help make this happen. And something that I've learned is that when you get attached to what the outcome's going to be, it really prevents you from gaining that momentum and moving forward. But if you feel the surge of knowing, like, this is what I need to be doing, I'm going to go ahead and take the action and sort of allow for my subconscious, really is where it's coming from, to help me notice things or help me come up with a solution so I can take that next step, whatever that is. And when you're following your intuition that way, you don't need to know what's going to happen next. You just know that the next thing that you have to do is the next thing you have to take action on. So for me, I was walking at the campground and we were only staying for a couple of nights, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just hang out and relax and connect with nature because things have been really chaotic. Hello. And I ran right into the housekeeper, and my husband was like, we should, work at one of these or run one of these. And I ran right into the housekeeper, and she starts telling me all about the work trade program, like literally from one thing to the next. I started talking to her about emotional intelligence work because I used to have the horses here at my property, and they aren't here anymore. I don't do the work like that anymore. And now that they're not here, I can kind of have a little bit more freedom to leave. And so this was Tuesday that this started happening. I saw a job only a couple hours away from here, at the campground that we were staying at, was posted. And today's only Friday. It's literally 4 days later. And things are just moving so quickly. So I'm like trying not to think about it, because the more I think about it, the harder it is to take action. So I got online and the job posting was gone the next day on the actual campground website, but it was still on Indeed. And so I went on Indeed and I put our resumes on there, and they actually ended up emailing us and scheduling an interview for today already. So we could possibly be starting as soon as Monday. We don't know. So I'm going to hop on here and kind of answer questions about, following your intuition or something that you really want to take action on. Like, I used to charge people $12,000 to coach with me, and I want to share this information freely because people on YouTube have helped me along the way, whether it's repairing my dryer or whatever. And I love the idea of sharing the emotional intelligence information, but I really need to be asked questions. So if you pop on here on Fridays when I'm doing my live, or you check out any of my videos, or you're a gamer, you can look at my videos. I have a whole bunch of tips in there, and I have links to all of the other videos to kind of lead you into directions that are along the same topics if something's interesting to you. And I will be here every Friday. So every Friday morning, I will be doing these lives so that I can kind of share what happens with these campgrounds, because we'll be traveling across America and just staying for a few months at each location at a time. But I really believe that our spirits and our souls are led to certain locations, just like the land is asking for our skills or our unique gifts to be brought to that part of, the planet or whatever. And we might run into somebody that we need to connect with, or we might meet somebody that we might meet somebody that needs to hear something that we have to say. Like the lady at the housekeeping, she starts telling me about the work program, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm telling you all this." And I'm like, "No, like I get ideas in my head, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this would be so cool to do this, but I don't know what to do or when to do it." And so if somebody in the physical shows up and just starts telling me a story, well, then I know it's like right there talking to me in human form. And so now my idea is able to manifest into something physical. And I really think that it's important that as human beings, we give ourselves permission to move into different circles if we need to, and into different communities, and not have an attachment to what the outcome is, because a lot of the time we plan so much. We're like, I have to plan every step out. And maybe the direction we're going in is what motivates us to take that step. But maybe that isn't what you're actually moving towards. You're just taking that step. And then when you get there, oh my gosh, you see things you didn't see before you took that step. So you have to be willing to take that step so you can see what's there. But if you just keep making plans and excuses about why you can't take that next step, you're not going to see what's there. You can't see what's there. You've never been there before. So you have to actually take it. Lima A1, I game on A. I can do some more videos.